Ha! And we're live, and welcome to a very special edition of 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast, where I'm live with you this evening. Oh, hey, Steve's here. RMJ, what's up? What is going on? Well, I want to say thanks, number one, for coming and joining me here on this first live, because first and foremost, I've got to welcome you, because I don't really do lives. I've never done this before. I usually do them when I'm going to do something like this. I tape it with somebody else and we have a little chat, and then we edit it up and we spit it out the next day or whatever, however long it takes to spit that out. So thank you for being here. So obviously, most of you know. Oh, hi, Bex. How's it going there? What are you doing? What are you doing awake? You going to work? Oh my gosh. So Bex is here. So it's really good to see you. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen you since the concert. It's been a while. So there's going to be some friendly faces showing up. I'm happy to see you. Oh, it's nice to see you. So most of you know that we'll have a little Ask Me Anything going on tonight. So, I mean, some of you have come at me with questions, and I've had a few different questions come at me, and I've had some questions about podcasts and different things. Oh, it's 12 p.m. Oh, it's 12:30 p.m. on a Sunday there. Well, where Bex lives, it is 12:30 p.m. on a Sunday. I had to forget the time change, and I forget that we're in all different zones. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, obviously. Where are you? Hi, Scott. How you doing? It's good to see you here too. So we're in for some questions and answers tonight, but I thought I would break the ice with the beginning of the show with something that that came to my attention this week, and I have to share it with you all. I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to show you a picture before I get down to what I'm going to call it, because it's horrible. I've never heard of anything like this quite before in my life. And I have to share it with you because Rob sent me like this article, and we send each other like articles back and forth on our phones, like through whatever emails or whatever, because we can't just tell each other these stories in front of our little people. So we have to share them between each other. So we do. So I got this story, and we're going to put it up on the screen for you. So I got this story the other day, and it says, I'm going to read it for you right now. It says, some Mormon teens have convinced themselves that putting a penis in a vagina and then not moving is not sex. That's called soaking. Soaking. So the soaking is humping. It's just humping when you get someone to jump on the bed next to you, soaking to get someone friction without you technically causing movement. So I think this is a YouTube video called How to Absolutely Destroy Pussy in a God-Honoring Way. So that sounds pure as fuck. Oh my God, Bex saw this. Okay, so Bex is seen soaking. Okay, so number one, can I just point out that the ladies in this YouTube in this YouTube or this YouTube video and this tweet look like the Wayans brothers. Like they look like Damon and Marlon Wayans when they did that White Chicks movie where they're undercover police officers. And they had to play those like Paris Hilton type girls. So that really looks like them. But I don't know. Like I talked about dry humping on the sex show. Like this is like wet humping. It takes it to a whole new level. Like dry humping is dry. It's clothes. It's clothes. There's clothes on. And there's not so much. There's friction, but there's not wet friction. So I guess like this is why this is called soaking. So I'd never seen anything like this before. So I've been literally laughing my ass off about this all week because it's fucking ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life. So if you have time in your life to go have a checkout and have a look and kind of check out what soaking is, because there are like tons of YouTube videos on it that I found out earlier today. I didn't look at the YouTube videos. I checked out Mormon soaking. And I was like, what kind of like other things could this be called? There could be like so many other names. There could be dink dipping. There could be I guess the one I thought of was jiggle banging. There are these bounce fuckers, I guess. I guess I could call them that. Rum springers. That's probably what fucking Bill Burr would call them. I don't know. It's it's horrible. So on top of all these like bounce fuckers and this craziness, so it's been it's been a funny week. We've had a skunk in our fucking backyard for, oh my god, forever now. And I've just realized now that I thought someone was kind of like smoking a field of, I think, marijuana. I'm pretty sure. I was like, okay, it's someone's outside smoking dope. Someone's outside smoking dope for sure. And then I'm like, maybe not. Maybe not outside smoking dope. And then I come outside of my room and I look outside our back door and I kind of turn the light on. And I look outside and they're standing right there is this fucking asshole of a skunk. And it's just like standing there, doesn't care. So I'm trying to like shoo it away. There's no way. It's spraying its ass off. It's just going nuts. That's why it already smells like shit. Like already by our house. It smells terrible. And I'm just thanking like everything that it's not waking up my children because it smells so bad in the house with this fucking skunk. It's terrible. Like it's terrible. So I realized that there's something wrong with this skunk because not this is not the only time I've seen this skunk. I've seen it in the daytime too, and I've seen it kind of like bumbering behind what we call Ashy Larry, who anyone who watched the Dave Chappelle show will know, like the Ashy Larry character. Well, I made Ashy Larry into a character to teach my children about fire safety. And this is something that I'm really I'm super serious about fire safety. I grew up with like a lot of bonfires and a lot of campfires. So I am super serious about fire safety. Like some people will say that Bob Seger is really serious about water safety. That guy, everywhere he goes on his boats, he brings a lot of personal flotation devices with him. I'm not even kidding. You go up north and you run into Bob Seger on a boat, and he will give you a personal flotation device if you don't have any on your boat. He's serious about water safety. So this is so serious I am about fire safety. So we have this shed in our backyard that I call Ashy Larry's house. And the kids think that Ashy Larry is this like person made out of ashes that lives in the fire. And that's why you don't go near the fire like super close or without adult attention. I even put like cones up around the fire when we have a fire. So I'm like, this is like the roasting marshmallow zone. And this is where you don't go past this fucking zone if you if you don't want to get burned. So that's what I do for the kids. But now roasting all these marshmallows that we've had in the backyard is attracting skunks. So I'm not exactly like puzzled as to the reason we have skunks because apparently skunks love marshmallows. So they're digging up my lawn, they're digging up my neighbor's like back lawn, they're digging up her front lawn, and and it's, oh my god, it fucking sucks. But I can't do anything about it. It's got distemper. Mm. So it looks like a little bit of a like kind of looks like a drunk person like stepping out of a bar at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like all like it's all hazy, especially in the day. And I was talking to Pecan, like talking to my dad, and anyone who knows who listens to my show will know that Pecan is my dad. That's what I call him. And I was talking to him. He's like, "So what's it doing? Is it frothing at the mouth?" I'm like, "No, it's not frothing at the mouth. It's just chilling out, and it just really looks messed up. It looks like some serious shit's going on with it." So he says, "Is it up in the daytime?" Hey, Steve, how's it going? Hey, girl. Hey, 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 dude. Hey, awesome. So back to skunks. No more skunks. I hope none of y'all have skunks in your fucking backyard because seriously, it's shitty. It's digging up our neighbor's backyard. When we're getting like a pizza delivered to the house, we got to put like a special like skunk light on for like the pizza delivery person so they don't get fucked and like totally skunked when they come. That's awesome, Steve. Yeah, I got one for you too. Those are for your fucking beer chugs. Oh, I don't got any beer to chug because I don't chug beer, but I can chug the sparkling juice. Mm. And boy, does it sparkle. So holy crap. You know how comments are going to pop up on the screen. So if you have any comments or questions or thoughts or whatever you want, put them up. You know how this works. If you've done this before, it'll pop up on the screen. I'll get to as many of them as I can, if there are any at all. If you don't have any, I'm sure I'll answer them for you. What's this? Steve wants to know. You want to ask for a long time. Who's your favorite metal-loving ginger beard reviewer? You've been waiting a long time to ask me for that. You've been asking me. How long have you been waiting to ask me this question, Steve? No, I'm not going to answer a question with a question. Obviously, it's that metal guy, 1983. I subscribe to your channel and I watch your beer chugs. Even though I'm not a beer chugger, I've chugged along with you. And you do a lot of metal. I've seen some country lately. I think I saw some boot scooting chugging the other day with like about like 5 fucking like chugs in a row, like at least. Oh, you're laughing about it. Yeah, because you know I'm right. And I see that your videos are getting a little bit more racy. You're moving them into like the shower and stuff now. I'm not quite there yet, but I love you too, man. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm sure I have baths a lot, so you guys get a lot of pictures of my toes. So October is here. It's October the 2nd, which is fucking awesome because that means the best season is here of all. Well, that one of the seasons is fall, but also it's fucking hockey season, motherfuckers. If you don't know this, and if you don't know this, here you're gonna find out right now. Some of my best friends didn't even know this. I love hockey because I never like really grew up watching it with my best friends because a lot of them weren't hockey lovers, and it's not because I am a patriotic Canadian. Because no, that's not why I like hockey. I have been a Blues fan since birth. What is this going on here? Obsessed. So Steve says that you say that you were obsessed with me in high school and when now we're friends. It's so fun. It is cool that I think it's cool to connect with so many people in so many different communities that I have, especially over like Instagram and YouTube channels and different social platforms and different content creators that I wouldn't have normally connected with because they're so far away. And because of like COVID, no one's like traveling and stuff a lot right now. I wouldn't have a chance to like hang out with these people and then become friends with them and like have, chit chats with them. And people always, this is one funny thing about like Instagram. This is something that I do and something that I do often. I don't type a lot on Instagram because I have crazy, crazy, crazy arthritis in my hands from like slapping that bass a lot and other things, Rob. Um, I have some arthritis in these hands. So, there's a lot of, from testing beard oil and stuff, but have you shown the kitty? Ooh, no, I have not shown the kitty. I've shown a little, well, not shown the whole reunion show to the kids just because they can't see some of like the swearing and stuff. But Scott, that is a good question. I'm going to interrupt everything. I got to answer this right away because this is funny. The kids are like, when my eldest was when he was very young, like my youngest age now, like 3, every time he'd hear like kitty come on, especially when I was pregnant with my youngest, he would always be like in the car to kitty, like anything, but like mostly like albums I didn't play on, which is like fucking amazing and like fucking hilarious. But I showed them me singing Paper Doll, and I kind of like turned down like the volume where I'm talking about like how did that baby get in there? And because they're like, the stork brought it. And I'm just like, yeah, it did. Totally. The heavy metal stork put that in my stomach. That's your baby sister. I'm like, see there? I'm like, to my like youngest, I'm like, there's you in mommy's tummy. And they're like, you're jumping around a lot. Like, I'm like, yeah, there were a lot of friends that confided in me, not so secretly that they were totally afraid that a baby was going to fall out of me. But I will assure you 100% that I had a whole 100% medical clearance from my OBGYN because that was one thing I was super, super fucking worried about. So worried about when we played the Kitty like reunion concert after playing so many years like apart and not playing together as a group. When we got together, I was like so pregnant at the time. I'm like, am I going to be able to play this concert or am I going to be letting everybody down with this? So I don't want to let everybody down. That sucks. It's kind of a shitty thing to do. I'm going to check with my OB. So I checked with my OB and she was a really cool lady, is a really cool lady to this day. She has like 5 kids and she's just like super OB, super mom, super awesome, super supportive during my pregnancies. Both of them, she was my OB for both kids. But she said, no, like everything's cool. Why don't you go for it? You're in good health. Go for it. Play the show, like rock your ass off. Shouldn't say ass, but she was like, rock it out and play the show and go for it while you're pregnant. So I did. And I have absolutely no regrets. I would have had regrets if I didn't play the show because that was one of those magical nights that you can't like repeat. One of those, like I've said it before, and I think I've said it in the documentary before. It's those lightning in a bottle sort of moments that you can only capture at certain times. So I haven't let the kids see the any documentary at all, and I've only let them see itty bitty teeny weeny parts of Paper Doll and stuff, and just seeing like I'll let them see like a picture of me like head banging or something. And we have like pictures of Kitty like on the wall. We have like album covers and things like that because they'll be like, oh, there's a newspaper article of like where your dad is standing with like Auntie Morgan and Auntie Mercedes. There they are. I'm like, so we'll have like that up in the kitchen. So they're like aware of that, but not super aware of like what I do or anything like that, because I mean my kids have no idea that it's like filthy podcast time. That's not a good thing for them to know. So like they don't have much knowledge of like what I say or what I do, and or like what a live is. So like I was explaining to my son earlier like about what a live stream is because he watches his video game people do their live streams. So I think he thinks that I'm like playing a video game or something. Like he went to bed thinking I'm like probably downstairs playing Mortal Kombat or some shit in a soundproof room. Sleeping with sugar plum fairies, just beautiful. If you, oh, by the way, speaking of sugar plum fairies, and everyone who knows this and who listens to my podcast knows that my eldest is type 1 diabetic. So I have an alarm strapped to me at all freaking times. So if a crazy ass alarm goes off, like a fire alarm, you'll know that he's either having a really, really high or a really, really low. So I either got to be juice box hero or I got to run with a shot of insulin and just make that all smooth because diabetes is one of those things that you got to keep under control. We have it under good control here, but I mean, a lot of people don't. I've done a lot of learning since my son got diagnosed with diabetes. That's one thing that I always try to bring awareness to with my podcast. A lot of people didn't know about diabetes. I didn't know a ton about diabetes. I did a project on it in college, but then I learned a lot from the diabetes courses that were offered through the hospital that they offer. They give really good training there, as well as kind of like learning yourself through your own personal research. Like, I mean, peer reviewed doctor book research, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation research, these kinds of things. And, you know, experience is good too when you want to have it. And just kind of watching highs and lows, knowing things like the glycemic index have been important. So if you hear an alarm going off, blaring like a motherfucker, you will know that I need to run for 10 seconds, but I will be back and I will be here. So I said I was going to definitely open up a beard oil. I'm going to open up a beard oil here, and I don't know which one I'm going to open up. I got a really cool package from my friend here, my friend Justin. You can see this here at the Iowa Beard Company. And it's pretty cool. I got 4 beard oils. I got Count Beardula. It's like it's a Count Chocula sort of one it's supposed to be. This is what I've read in the scent profiles, at least. I've got Beardberry. I have got one I'm really excited about, Frankenbeardy. And this is the one I'm like most excited about is the Traveler. I'm so excited about this one. I have not smelled any of these yet. True that. People have asked me, have you smelled these yet? I'm like, no, I have not smelled these yet. I wanted to save it for live so it can be authentic. Also, I had to like bathe my nose in like coffee smell to like make it go away. So we'll see kind of what happens when we open this. And I think the one I'm going to open up is Traveler because I have a cool story about that. When these came from Iowa Beer Company, like I will tell you, they were impeccably packaged. They were so well wrapped in bubble wrap on all sides, and the box was bubble wrapped on top, like and bottom inside the box. They had a beautiful personalized postcard from Justin, and they had some business cards, you know, that it's all, you know, small batch, handcrafted, like handmade beard oil. And we have this huge connection, our family at least, to Disney World. We fucking love it. My favorite ride is the Haunted Mansion. I love Disney's The Haunted Mansion. I think it's amazing with the kind of animatronics that they have and the different effects that they use to make the ride spooky. I think it's kick ass. And it's one that doesn't make me want to puke my fucking guts off. So, which is great. So, I want to really try this Traveler. I'm going to open it up. So, the scent profile of this one is supposed to be like an autumn night. So, maple, caramel, amber, tropical, and coconut. We're going to try this out. It's got a really nice carrier oil on it. And it's got a really nice sweet color. Ooh, Ooh, it's nice. It's got a nice viscosity to it. I use this stuff in my hair, so I wish all of you could smell right now. I'm gonna put a few drops in my hand because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to smell it. Oh, can you hear that? Ooh, ha ha! Oh, jeez. You know what that does smell like? My perfect autumn night. Holy shit. Justin, you knocked that one out of the park. I smell everything. It's like the caramel and the maple kind of come through first. That's amazing. Yeah, Scott, I did see that. I did see that Polly from the Bomb Pops has recently been ill. She is type 1 diabetic. Yeah, I did see that. I am a big Bomb Pops fan. Actually, through one of my good girlfriends, I found out about the Bomb Pops. Abby, darling, she does most of my jewelry. Abby Darling Customs, most of the stuff that I'm like hanging, she does. And she sent me after my son, not like right after my son was diagnosed with diabetes, but shortly after my son was diagnosed with diabetes, she sent me this song called Double Arrows Down. And Double Arrows Down is a song that Polly actually wrote about having diabetes and her diagnosis with diabetes. And Double Arrows Down describes something on something called a continuous glucose monitor or CGM. Kids, adults, patients of all ages wear them on their body to monitor what their blood glucose, their blood sugar is, to kind of find out what that number is. And Double Arrows Down means your blood sugar is dropping. And dropping to anything below a 4, that's a Canadian measurement, is, I don't know what it is in like American conversion, but it converts for different machines in different countries. And that song, Double Arrows Down, is about when you're going to have a diabetic low, which you can get into a diabetic coma. And it's about Polly's experience with that and her experience with diabetes. And I saw that she'd been recently ill and in the hospital. Actually, I sent her a message. I'm sure I am one of a lot of fans that sent her a message because when my son was diagnosed with diabetes, that woman was absolutely fantastic. I sent her a message just being like, "Hey," from like my son being like, he loves them. I showed him the song Double Arrows Down. He's like, "Mom, they're awesome. Like this person has diabetes, like, and they're in a rock and roll band, like a punk band, like they can do everything." I'm like, "Yeah, they're in a kick butt band." I'm like, I want to say kick ass so bad, but they're in an awesome band and they can do anything they fucking want to do. You know what I mean? Like nothing can stop you. Like, look at this girl. No, she's unstoppable. And she's been recently ill with diabetes. But when he was diagnosed, I sent her like a picture of him playing baseball or something like that. And I totally didn't even expect her to respond or anything like that. And she was, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh my gosh. It's, another person in the community. If you ever need to talk or rant or, bitch and complain, diabetes." She was super cool about it. Like, and she was very gracious and very grateful. I said, that song Double Arrows Down, that means a lot to us. It hit me kind of like right in the heart. The first couple times I heard it, and kind of when I hear it now, I'm not going to lie, I cry when I hear that song because it's, as a mom and as a parent, it's hard and it's frustrating to see your child or see anyone go through that. So I know what she's going through to a point, not personally, obviously not on a personal level. Definitely do not know what that's like because I don't know what all those finger pricks and pokes and all those things are like. But I know what being the person who has to give them is like, and being the caregiver, and you feel kind of like an asshole sometimes for saving someone's life. But we've not had any diabetic like emergency situations except for like diagnosis. So that's good. But speaking of sweet, that beard oil is sweet. And like I say, my hair smells amazing. I want to unbottle all of these at once, but like I'm gonna smell up this whole room with everything. It's all gonna be like a cluster of beard oil cloud. It'll be like mix, like over on like beard oil roulette when I do the beard oil roulette with the Woolly Wizard over here in London, Ontario. But I've been trying all these different beard oils. Now that he's been claimed by my household, my husband has got the Frankenbeardy, and he's got the Count Beardula, and he has also claimed the Traveler. I'm gonna put lots of that in my split ends in my hair because it smells absolutely amazing. And actually, our almost 7-year-old here has gotten the Beardberry because he wants like the blueberry one. I'm gonna have a smell of that. I'm not gonna put it on my hands, but I'm gonna have a sniff Let's see what this one's like. Why did I leave Kitty? That is a great question. Well, if you watched the documentary, you would know. But if you didn't, I can tell you now. So I left Kitty. So when I did leave Kitty, this is a documentary. If you're not seen it, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it in the mail. You can get it all kinds of places. This is my unopened copy. I'm saving this one for my mom. Hi, Mom. But I left Kitty. At the time when I left Kitty, I was super like truly and honestly, I was freaked out by like just the enormity of the fame that was happening so fast. It was crazy. All of a sudden, like, it seemed like one day we were playing, local clubs, and we played, a few bigger clubs, and we played some different festivals and things like that. And then all of a sudden one day we were just playing this huge festival. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was called the Big Day Off in Hartford, Connecticut. We went to go be their morning man was um, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, and he did an awesome interview with us that morning. I remember he tried to get us to like eat spam, and he was just really funny. And they had a guy named Howie Zowie did the morning there, and actually he's actually a DJ here in town. He still does a show, Howie Zowie. He's amazing. He does like a lot of Frank Zappa tunes. So we done the show there, and I remember after the show we went to we played the show. There was like a bazillion people. Everybody takes the day off at this place in Hartford, Connecticut for this show. There were like big bands on the lineup too. There was Everclear, and there was Public Enemy, and like bands that I recognized and bands that I was fans of. I'm like, these bands are huge. Like, we're on the same bill as these bands. This is kind of astonishing. So that kind of, blew my fucking top off. That really scared me. That did flip me out, flip my lid. And after I saw the crowd, I had to take off my glasses because seeing all that many people in focus was kind of freaky. We sat at a little tent at the end, and they got us to sign autographs. And I saw there was like a big line. I'm like, oh, is that the lineup for like food or like hamburgers or something? No, it was a lineup for our autograph, and it was like 2 hours long. So we sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours signing autographs. And it was, for me, it was super weird and really surreal. And it was at that moment that I was like, whew, like this is a lot. This is a lot for me. So it was too much for like my anxiety, and being a kid at the time, it was a lot of like big feelings and big emotions to sit with and feel, and I was not ready for it at the time. Absolutely not, which is which is like every kid's probably like, oh my god, you're crazy. That's every kid's like dream. Like, I played with lots of like teenage bands. It was every kid's dream. I remember playing with a band called Serial Joe. I don't know if you remember. Hey, you, yes, get down on the road. What you gonna do? Where you gonna go? Everybody probably remembers Serial Joe. If you lived in Canada and you watched much music and you're around my age, I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 in January. But fuck, if you remember Serial Joe, you were around in a magical time. I played with Serial Joe after I left Kitty, actually. I was in a band called Candy Darlings, and we played at a show one night at a club in town called Call the Office. And great. It was a fun ass club, and lots of good memories there. We played with the Planet Smashers, which was fucking awesome because they're just like an amazing punk and ska band. I have a lot of respect for that band. Everything they put out is just like amazing. They're so talented. They're so tight. They're good as live as they are on like a record. They're just a one tight band, friendly, down to earth, again, like gracious, salt of the earth people. Then we played with Serial Joe. So every club has like an upstairs or a backstage or whatever, those kinds of things. So Call the Office has like an upstairs. So usually you just walk upstairs if you're in the band, you have a stamp on your hand or whatever. And Serial Joe's up there, and there's, people from other bands up there, and people are smoking joints, you could smoke inside at this time, cigarettes. People are having beers, but the kids in Serial, I was having a beer, and the kids in Serial Joe, they were not having it. And I mean, they were my age. I'm sure, pretty sure some of them were old enough to drink. Like, this is like late high school, you know what I mean? Like, I was already like almost 19 at this point. Some of them were old enough to drink, and they were up there kind of with their moms or their handlers. I'm thinking they were their moms, because either that or their handlers were mature ladies. But they were like wiping off their faces and making sure they had enough to eat, and they're getting ready to go on stage, which is, wonderful because like when I was in Kitty, we were definitely well taken care of, but we weren't doted upon like we were tiny little kids. Well taken care of, made sure we were well fed. We had, all our vitamins and nutrients and supervision and, things like that, things that are important. But did we get our faces licked and told how to dress or told how to walk or what to do or what to write? Nah, no, we didn't get any of that crap, which was probably good because I think girls are a little bit more rebellious than boys are. I'm just putting that out there. Girls are slightly more rebellious than boys are, being more rebellious. And like I say, I am a huge hockey fan. That is something like a lot of my girlfriends like never sat around and did with me because I don't have a ton of chick friends that watch hockey. I have a few. I have a few hockey fans that are ladies or identify as female. Most of my like hockey pals I sit around, I talk hockey about are like major like bro downs. There's not any team that like well, there are teams that I downright do not like, but I won't discuss them. However, there are teams that I downright love, and I have been a long time, lifelong fan of the St. Louis Blues because I love Brett Hall. I was talking to my friend the other day, and I'm not going to say his name out loud, just protect his anonymity, but he said something to me. He said, "Who's your favorite hockey team? You love hockey." I said, "Yeah, I adore hockey. It's something that me and like Rob share together. That's something I've never shared with a partner before. It's like a huge mutual love of hockey and loving the same team, not just having someone who just generically likes the Maple Leafs because we live in Canada or just likes the Habs because it's a Canadian team or whatever. Like I really like them because of the players. They're different factors, but Brett Hull was my big factor. He was my hologram upper deck fucking card. He was my boyfriend. Ugh, I love Brett Hull. And like my good friend said, he is everyone's favorite drunken uncle. And I think I like Brett Hull so much because he reminds me of myself. I feel like sometimes I'm everyone's drunken uncle, like maybe favorite drunken uncle, maybe not favorite drunken uncle, maybe like around the dinner table, like I'm a little too much, but it's not like you can get around the dinner table with too many people these days, unless like you're doing one of these live around the dinner table, you're just sitting around eating. I don't know. What are you all doing on a Saturday night? Obviously, not sitting around hanging around with me. But I would like to say a salute to everyone's drunken uncle, everyone's favorite drunken uncle, to Brett Hull. I'll give him the hockey salute. And I just love watching like YouTube videos of him where his mic's on and he forgets and he's in the crowd shooting his fucking mouth off, just drunk as fuck, just giving her. Like, I love him. He's just like gooning it up. And that's why I love Brett Hull. He's honest. He says exactly what's on his fucking mind. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. So that is my love of hockey and Brett Hull. So that's what I will say about hockey season. But it's also spooky season. Halloween season is coming up. I don't know how many of you are Halloweeners or if you enjoy that holiday, whether you like trick or treating or getting candy or dressing up, dressing your kids up, going to costume parties. I'm an old gothic bitch, so obviously I love Halloween. I've been watching all kinds of horror movies. We subscribe to that Shutter channel, which is like, it's so awesome because there's a little something for everyone on there. There are international films like I never would have had access to like before, like really good international horror movies I never would have been able to see that I've seen on there. I have seen, well, my my favorite horror movie to date. Someone asked me this the other day. They said, I can't be at your live, but what's your favorite horror movie that you've seen like in the last like few years to date? And I like horror films that just like stick with me and like disturb me, that like, just leave a stain. Like that is the kind of horror film that I like. It's not the jump scares, although I like to hide under the covers and like peek my eyes out and do one of those and get scared. I'm a jump scare horror movie kind of girl, but I love as much as I love the Annabelles and the hauntings and everything like that. One of the scariest movies I've seen to date, and then, like one of the biggest like mind fucks is like Midsummer. I love Midsummer. Something about the May Queen, and I don't know if I want to spoil for you if you haven't seen Midsummer. It's part of the whole Hereditary, group of films there. It's a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it yet, it'll definitely leave a mark on you. It's definitely disturbing in a way that is difficult to describe unless you see it yourself, unless you're like really ready for it. It's a deeply disturbing film. It's extremely graphic, and I don't think that's why so much it's disturbing. It's a very graphic film. It was executed beautifully. The cinematography in that film was beautiful. The set design in that film is beautiful. So for horror movies, for me, it's more than just like the classic jump scare. Whereas, yeah, I love like the Michael Myers and the Jason and the Freddy Krueger and the Pinhead, Frank, the Hellraiser and all. Fuck, I love the horror stuff. Why do you think when I listen to podcasts, people are like, "Oh, what kind of podcasts do you listen to?" I listen to a lot of my friends' podcasts. I love. Hello, Eric England. How are you? And yeah, yeah, Midsummer is good. Yeah, Halloween big in Canada? Yeah, Halloween is huge in Canada, actually. It's big. Like trick or treating is really huge. COVID's kind of like screwed that up and made it like 50-50 for people. So some people are like throwing candy down chutes for kids. Some people are having their kids trick or treat. Some kids are not trick or treating. So Halloween is still huge in Canada. It's huge for us. We have the Great Pumpkin come and bring candy and hide it all around the house. Sometimes we'll do like a candy hunt, like for fun. So Halloween's we get big on decorating. We really like Halloween here. Our kids love it. They love pumpkins and pumpkin carving and the guts and getting into everything. So yeah, Halloween's definitely huge here. Am I a Velvet Underground fan? I do love the Velvet Underground. Most of the stuff that I love Lou Reed just in general. His writing style, I love his voice, like the resonance of his voice. I love the whole Andy Warhol connection. I got some soup cans not too long ago. That was amazing. They were cream of mushroom soup, and they came with the Andy Warhol 60 years of art. It's been 60 years of Andy Warhol's art. But I would definitely have to say, oh god, anything they did with Nico. When Nico did anything with the Velvet Underground, hey James, how's it going? When Nico did anything with the Velvet Underground, I really appreciate like the depth that she brought. She was like a feminine looking woman with the most like deep, sensuous, smoky voice that she brought to the Velvet Underground. So I thought with the contrast of how kind of like resonant and almost shrill in a way that Lou Reed is, he's almost like a shrill, more resonant Leonard Cohen esque. And then she's got that, she brings that smoke and that fire and that Nico-ness to it. And it's a perfect combination, in my humble opinion. Hello, Tyler. And yeah, Tyler's here. James are here. James is here. And Becky likes Nico. Yeah, I know Becky likes Nico. Just some of my bearded and unbearded friends, but all from bearded community friends, all hanging out tonight on a Saturday night. I'm guessing kids are going to bed. Finally, mine are younger, so they were in bed earlier. That's why I was able to like hop on at like 9:30, because usually I can't hop on till goddamn who knows what time 30. But yeah, seriously, oh my god, Nico is amazing. Have I seen The Wind? It's a period horror film. No, I haven't seen it. I would actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that down. The Wind. The Wind is a period horror film. Let's see what that's all about. I want to check that out. The Wind. Oh, I've seen The Wind. I think I've seen. No, I've not seen the movie. I think I've seen the preview. I remember a lady with a shotgun. I might be wrong. I might totally be wrong. But I remember a lady with a shotgun and like being out on like a prairie or something. Like I know of this movie, but I've not seen it. I'm gonna have to put it down. I'm gonna see this period horror film because I remember it looking spooky. I remember the wind itself and the ambience of it, the sheer like feel of it seemed really fucking spooky, big time. So yeah, that's one that I will have to check out, big time. Oh yeah, the skunk sprayed outside. Yes, it did. It was a fucking field of dreams in here. Do not wake the kid. Oh, that one's just Netflix? Excellent. We have Netflix. Oh, I even buy Netflix. We buy Netflix. We bought Netflix as a Christmas present for my dad and my stepmom, so they'd have something to do during the pandemic because it hit during like the winter season and in the summer months. My dad can go sailing. So I get to like monitor what my dad watches on Netflix, which is like hilarious. And my dad looks like Santa Claus. So speaking of beards and being beardy, my dad looks like Santa Claus. This is one giant connection to the beard community. Everyone's like, why do you like beards so much? What the fuck is with that? And I have been asked that question so many times. Are you, like I say, yeah, I am definitely a paganophile. Is it that I want to go and be sexually attracted to everyone with a beard? No, it is not. I just have this absolute fascination with beards. I think that wisdom does not just grow on trees. It grows on faces and it grows on beards. We've got so many good beard oils. We have been like hooked up by the Woolly Wizard here in the L dot in London, Ontario, like forever. That has been what like Rob's been rocking in his beard. He's been like rocking this caramel pipe tobacco that is obscenely good, like obscene. Like Tyler hit it out of the friggin' park with this. And then as a sideline to that, as a B-side to that, Tyler's partner in crime there has a soap and candle making company, and she makes beautiful soaps for her. So we've been hooked up with like good body goodness, body butters, and body soaps. So then I decided to try this other beard company. So I'm going to let Tyler know that these beard oils are really nice. They feel really nice. I want to know what Rob's going to say about them in the beard. I got a question for y'all. There's the beard oil if you want to see it. Do I still have a relationship with Fallon and Mercedes? I do. I do have a good relationship with Fallon and Mercedes and Morgan. Like we're all still good friends. We talk often. Every couple of weeks we're on the phone with each other. We all have busy lives and we get things going, but we always kind of pick up exactly where we've left off when we talk to each other, which is awesome. So yeah, I do have a really good relationship with all the girls actually. We all get along really well. We're just like one big old dysfunctional family. It's so cute. I love them. Rob has grown a beard. Rob has grown his beard out multiple times. Being Tanya eats it off all the time because it smells so awesome. I have said that I eat his beard all the time. James, you're hilarious. I bet you I've sent you like voice messages where I've said I'm gonna eat Rob's beard when I put this oil in it. Oh, and oh my God, Bearded Metal Chef James, he just got a package from Iowa too, because I know that you had the Traveler and you really, really, really loved it because you sent me like a picture of it, and you got the cereal collection as well, and I'm really excited for that too. I'm gonna crack open the cereal collection. I'm gonna crack open, yeah, blueberry. I'm gonna go blueberry, and I'm gonna go with beardberry because this is the one our son is obsessed with, and he wants in his hair because he wants to look like Danny Zuko and be a greaser. Oh, that's awesome! You can really smell like the cereal and the marshmallow. Oh my, and the blueberry's really nice, and the mahogany is just sitting there, like, kinda in the background. The carrier oil is really nice. It smells beautiful. I'm excited to have this in the beards and the hair in my house. And, I mean, smelling like a delicious breakfast cereal is not horrible. Now, do I have any fun stories from the early era of Kitty? Meow, 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 meow. Oh my God, do I not have any fun stories? Yeah, I do. I do. When we were very early on in Kitty, believe it or not, we were a little bit like Pariah Carrie. And if you know what a pariah is, it's like a social outcast. And like people were not super fond of our band because we were young women playing a pretty brash and particular sort of music that wasn't well tolerated by, especially grown up ears, and they didn't want to fucking hear it. So we played a coffee house one night at a secondary school here in town that I actually end up like living kind of close to now. And we ended up getting ousted from the stage. We got up on the stage and we wanted to play a song by Korn. And because those were like our idols at the time. We were, looking at all these new metal bands that had these, wide leg pants and dreadlocks and playing in drop D chords and sort of, things like that. And we thought it was kind of awesome. So at the time we thought, we'll perform a Korn song. And I guess the school thought it was super controversial because we got like the like that's the end of the show, the fucking WB frog like fucking hook like from the stage. We got ousted so bad, and that is where the song called "Get Off" came from. They wanted us to get off. It wasn't about like anyone getting off. People think that song is about like getting off or sex or something. It's not. It's about being ousted from the stage at a particular high school that I will not mention in London, Ontario. So yeah, we got off the stage because it was like a coffee house and everybody else was playing fucking Jewel and we were fucking playing Corn. Imagine Kitty playing at a coffee house would be amazing. It was amazing and like amazingly ridiculous at the same time. Cause like Kitty playing at a coffee house, right? I mean, we had the coffee energy. Like fuck, we definitely have that. But it was we were definitely not that speed. So maybe we should have been playing at like a maybe more of a heavy metal coffee house next time. Maybe more of like a, I don't know. Maybe there was a witches circle we could join or something, or play on the soundtrack for The Craft. That at one point, someone thought The Craft was Kitty. People, I see memes now saying I'm of The Craft, like all the girls in The Craft and the original Craft. I am talking to people my age saying I'm going to tell my kids that this was Kitty. And when I see those memes, like I literally almost piss myself. Like I love those fucking memes. They're so funny. They're so funny. They make me laugh so hard. And or I'll see things like people ask me like, were you guys witches when you guys were in Kitty? I'm like, no, we weren't. I know we kind of look witchy, but like for the magic community, that's a real like slap in the face. So no, we were not witches at all. Becky's got a question. What's my zodiac sign or Myers-Briggs personality type? How do you think these influence my music career and preferences? Ooh, yes. Well, zodiac sign. I would go right to zodiac sign. So I'll go sun sign. In my sun sign, I am an Aquarius. So that definitely, Becky, I think comes along with like a lot of creativity, but like type A personality with being like never totally satisfied with what you're working on and wanting always kind of like more and to build and build and build and build and build on it. Oh, and that's something very like Aquarian of me. So it's creativity, but to like a perfectionism point where sometimes it's not good, not good. But then my moon sign kicks in, which is cool, which is a Gemini, which totally explains a lot about my personality. There are so many of them. I'm just kidding. But that comes in, and that's where I get like other flavors and other influences that come in for music. And that's why I have such a broad range of things that I listen to. Like one day I will be listening to gangster rap, not in front of the kids. And I've definitely heard Becky say before that earbuds are like a godsend. They're totally like bless earbuds. Holy shit, because I can listen to anything I want. And the kids don't like they don't have to have like you can do it, put your ass into it all up in their ears. Or like I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. My kids don't have any problems because they don't have to hear those swear words. But I like to hear those swear words, but sometimes I want to just mellow out and listen to the Grateful Dead or listen to Jenny Lewis or Rilo Kiley. I'm rocking that a lot lately. Today I'm rocking the fucking Jenny Lewis t-shirt right now. And then my son told me today that I look like Jenny Lewis. And then he also told me something exciting about my live stream. He said, "Mom, I want you to have good luck on your live stream, and I hope you have a good show, and I hope you fart." And I was just like, "Why do you hope that I fart? Like, why do you hope that?" He was telling me this while I was brushing his teeth. And he's like, "Well, because I hope you fart because I saw that video where that teacher farts on that Zoom call for her class." Like, where on earth did you see like, I don't know where these kids, like, see this shit. I have no idea. I'm like, "Did you see it on YouTube? Did some kid show it to you in your virtual class?" Because he goes to virtual school and everything with his diabetes, just to mitigate that risk. He says, "Yeah, put I'm just putting this out there, Mom. I really hope you fart like that teacher. Earbuds required. Love your range." It's my range is everywhere. No, but the earbuds are always required. But he said, yeah, he hoped that I farted on my show. So I ate all the things that I hoped would make me fart. But I'm gonna yeah, exactly. Beard Metal Chef's right. I gotta tell him I farted because he'll never get to see this. So like, oh yeah, now I gotta crack one off. I'm trying. I am trying. This juice isn't doing it. I wish it was beet juice or something, or fiber juice, or fart juice of some sort, but I don't have any. Today I was reading the kids a story and it was talking about a snowman picking its nose and its boogers tasting like carrots. And both my kids almost fell the fuck over. Do my kids ever watch the Aquabots? Oh, they have seen the Aquabots. Yeah, they're like Scottish. I believe the Aquabots are Scottish. Or is that the Aquanauts? Or Aquabots? Oh, Aquabats. Ooh, I don't know what the Aquabats are. They sound like aquatic acrobats. Woo! I haven't seen this. Mm. I'm checking out the Aquabat. I'm just learning so much today. Aquabats. Ooh, they look like crazy. Whoa! I'm like actually looking at this right now on the computer. I'm checking out what the Aquabats look like. They look almost like a band that I used to play with when I was in a band called the Alcoholics called P-Lander Z. They're like in some spandex with some letters on them. They've got like swimming caps on. They look fucking kind of awesome. Like, I'm just gonna say this right now. They look really awesome. The Aquabats. I'm gonna check this out. I would like every time that I do things and I let the kids watch things, we pre-screen them. So they're really silly. Oh, it's a ska band that did maybe like Yo Gabba Gabba. I love Lance Bass or what's his name? Lance Rock. Lance Rock from Yo Gabba Gabba. So if it's anything like that, they love stuff like that. And a silly ska band would be perfect because me so horny, I love horns. I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, and it being a mutable sign is my taste ranges from Spice Girls to corn. Yep. You know what? My taste ranges from the Spice Girls to corn as well. Like, I honestly love the Spice Girls. That is like one of the most ridiculous things that people will like doubt about me, that I know the Spice Girls songs. I know the Spice Girls dances. I used to dress up as the Spice Girls. It was always either like Jerry or it was like Baby Spice, because like back in the day I had blonde hair and I'd always wear my hair in pigtails. So I'd be Baby Spice and, wear little tiny little dresses and things like that my parents definitely didn't fucking appreciate ever. But I did love bands like the Spice Girls, and I loved like poppy bands like that. I didn't get too into them, but I still listen to them now. Like, and I still listen to like pop punk bands now. Like, I listen to the same things as I did, when I was in Kitty and just starting out as in Kitty. And even before that, as I do now, I still listen to the Beatles and the Beach Boys and Hole. And I mean, I'll put on the Presidency of the United States of America for the kids and put on like Lump or like Peaches or something funny like that. Or like sometimes I'll just be an ass and put on Raffi for the kids and put on like Banana Phone. Because sometimes you just need some good old fashioned Banana Phone. So I'm telling you, this is what you need. Oh, was Baby Spice for Halloween in 7th grade? Yes. I was never Baby Spice for Halloween. I didn't have like the lady balls to go out as a Spice Girl for Halloween because I never had enough like chicks in my group that all wanted to be Spice Girls. I had like one like girlfriend who was like always down to be Spice Girls with me. She would do dances with me. She would always do the Spice Girl stuff with me. But like the rest of the girls were just like, no, I want to be Goth Spice. I want to be more Goth Spice. I want to be even gothier spicier than that. Do I like any super unconventional music? Yeah, truly, yeah, I do. I like a lot of music in French. Like, I like a lot of music when like Debbie Harry from Blondie did like the Jazz Passengers in the 90s. She did a lot of music that was like in French because I grew up listening to like a lot of like Edith Piaf and stuff like that. I listened to a lot of like Sophie Tucker and that kind of era of music too, but Edith Piaf was always in French. So I grew up liking French music. So when Debbie Harry kind of was like on a hiatus with Blondie, she did this group called the Jazz Passengers. So for me and for a lot of people, music in other languages becomes, I don't know why, for some people it is deemed unconventional. For me, I like languages just to hear them, and I like learning languages. So listening to music in other languages for me is not unconventional, but a lot of people might consider that unconventional. I like a lot of like Tibetan bowl music. I like a lot of instrumental music. I play the thumb piano, like the kalimba, so I got one of those. I don't have it with me, but it's something that I like. It's relaxing. Any kind of like ambient music Fallon makes a lot of like ambient, really cool music, especially with Amphibious Assault, and her latest album is like amazing. So anytime I just like want to like zone out in the bath, have a like amazing bubble bath. I know it's like my friend and everything, that's like weird, but pour one out in the bath. Did I ever meet Max Cavalera? I wish I did not. Soulfly, Fly High. I didn't meet Max Cavalera. I think some of the girls did for sure with Soulfly, because I did not play any shows with Soulfly, but I wish I met Max Cavalera. I heard he's a pretty like cool dude, but I didn't meet him. But Soulfly is a pretty kick-ass band, and hell yes to the presidents of the United States of America, because they're moving to the country. I got me a lot of peaches from Costco. Because peaches don't always come from a can, but they're always put there by a man or a woman in a factory because they pick them off a tree, and now they're at home just for me, attracting fruit flies in my fucking kitchen in a bowl. That's what peaches are doing. So this week, actually, it was like last week, I kind of had the pleasure of being on another podcast, which was really cool because usually I'm never in the hot seat. I don't get to be here ever. I get to be on the other side of things. So I was on the Social Animals podcast because people are always like, what podcasts do you listen to? I listen to a lot of Chelsea Handler, obviously. I love Chelsea Says and anything she's doing. She makes me piss myself. I love Chelsea Handler. She's just off the cuff. She says whatever the fuck she wants. She's, I don't know, always drunk as fuck. I don't know what it is. She's just funny as hell. I listen, like I say, I listen to my friend's podcast. I listen to the Road Cakes podcast. That is something that the band Nice Horse does. Tara, who played with Kitty, and the ladies in Nice Horse run that podcast. It's fantastic. They have amazing guests, fantastic content. It's always really dynamic. The chats are always really fun. They are always really flow well. They're smooth. I love that Sexy podcast. I've been on that one with Mercedes and Steven before, and they've had me read a little bit of pornography. I love the Witchfinger podcast. Those are my witches as well there too. Morgan and Megan and Yaz. And Yaz does a lot of stuff with like the Rewind Zone and Room Morgue. So I love, all these cross pollinations of podcasts and buddies and stuff like that. But Social Animals was one that I was introduced to by a friend and started listening to, and had a lot of good guests on it. And one day, the gentleman who runs that podcast reached out to me and said, would you like to be on this podcast? And so I like almost shit myself. And I was like, yes, I do. Like, I'm nervous as fuck, but yes, I do want to be on your podcast. Fuck yeah, I'll be on your podcast. So we did that interview. So he does a ton of interviews, and they'll be out like in November sometime. So I'll let you know when those are coming. And it's pretty cool. So those are the podcasts that I listen to. Those are the things that are going on. I hope I answered most of your questions tonight. I hope I let you know how to get your virginity back. If you're ever in a really dry state like Utah and you're thinking of soaking, dinkle dipping, jingle banging, jiggle banging, bounce fucking, rumspringing, doing whatever you're going to do with your crotch over there in Utah, and you're a Mormon and you want to have the Mormon menage and bring another person to just monkey, to be jumping on the bed while you're just inserted, go for it. But I don't know if I would recommend that, but maybe it's a way to get your virginity back. I told you I would have all the secrets. I'll have all the secrets for you next week too. I've always got all the secrets for you. You know where I am if you want to find me. I am always at 21st Century Rocker Mom on my Instagram profile. You can find me there doing whatever it is that I do. You'll find me on my YouTube channel here at Tanya Candler channel. If you want to get notifications to when I'm on, you can click subscribe and you will get that. That's where I'm hanging around. On Twitter, I am at Tanya Candler. You can find me there. And I don't do Facebook anymore. But just make sure you hit subscribe and like. Usually I don't tell anybody to do that, but do it. Do it. Do it. Do it now. See what happens. I'll see what happens. But I hope we had a good time. I want to do more of these lives with you and have more Rocktoberfest and Oktoberfest. You're welcome, Scott. And do some Patreon things. So that is kind of coming up in the next few podcasts. We're going to be talking about Patreon because we talked a lot about music a little bit tonight. And things are coming with music and Patreon that I'm going to do a little bit more of these live hangouts with, I think, some of you, I think. So I'll let you know what is coming down the pipe for Patreon hangs. I want to say special thanks to everyone who showed up tonight, and a huge thanks to Justin for all this amazing beer oil from the Iowa Beer Company. Thank you for everyone who came out. Thank you for everyone who had a question. I hope everything was answered. It was fun. I had a fun time too. I'm glad you came. I will see y'all on the gram because you know I'm a slave to the motherfucking gram. This will be out tomorrow on all your favorite streaming platforms. Mwah! I will see you then. Eric, I will see you later. I will see y'all later. Rock on. Have a wonderful Saturday night. It was a wonderful time spending it with you.